This week on American Airgunner, we're finally gonna do it. It's time for a 22 air gun versus 22 rimfire. We'll see a special edition of the Round Table from Las Vegas. All this and more coming up right now on American Airgunner. All right, so people are always asking me, what's the difference between a 22 long rifle and 22 air gun? Can you use it for the same things? Do they have the same accuracy? Blah, blah, blah. And I keep saying, guys, I don't know. You're asking the wrong person. So here we are today. We're at Umarex, and we got our American Airgunner indoor range, and it's perfect for this kind of comparison. I had to bring in the man, the one and only, my guy, Papa Rick. Rick User, how you doing, buddy? It's all you talk about.
Center to center, Rossi.
Center to center. So, you ready to help me do this comparison?
Absolutely.
All right,
let's
go. All right, so here's the deal. We always talk about it, 22 long rifle versus 22 air gun.
Right.
What we want to find out is if they can do the same things, what the accuracy levels are, what the distances are, how comparable are they really?
I think that's really important because I know that I really like shooting my 22 air guns.
Yeah.
I love shooting my 22 long rifle as well, but I can shoot the 22 air gun in my backyard.
Exactly, so we're gonna compare a lot of things. First of all, inside we're gonna compare just basically for target shooting,
Right.
accuracy, obviously this is a controlled environment. Then later we'll go outside and do more of a hunting type aspect to see if, because obviously the target becomes a little bit bigger. All right, so the guns I got today are the Walther LGU 22 air rifle. Also got a Ruger 1022.
Correct.
We'll both shoot each gun at 25 yards and then at 50 yards. Now both these guns very similar in cost, so this should be a pretty even comparison.
They're pretty evenly matched. I think they're very evenly matched.
You want to go first?
No, it's your house. You go first.
Here we go. We're going to start with the air rifle.
All right, I'm going top left.
All right, not my favorite. One got away from me. Here we go. All right. Ah! Well, goodness gracious. Your turn, my friend.
All right, let's do it.
Ready. Well
Thank
done.
you. Thank you.
Let's see what you can do with the
Ready for the
long rifle.
Sure.
All right, man. Let's take a look at it, shall we?
This is what's very cool. This is your 25 yards, 22 long rifle. This is with your air gun. But when you look at this, look how tight that group is. Mm-hmm. And that's out of a spring air gun. And then look at this, how this opened up a little bit.
The fact is these guns are very similarly accurate, and you can do what you want to do with both of these guns.
If we were going to take a micrometer and get a center-to-center group, the difference between this group and this group, really, when you look at the spread, is negligible. Mm-hmm. So, and this is really what we wanted to show, is the comparison between the 22 air gun and the 22 long rifle. Those are very, very close.
So are mine.
Yeah.
Just a little bit further off.
Yep.
All right. Should we do a little 50-yard test?
Absolutely. Let's set this up for 50 yards. All right, let's see if I can best your shape.
Yeah, all right, Rick. Just show us how it's done.
Now for the 1022.
You got it.
I think you might have got me on the 50, Ross.
These guns, comparable, accurate, 25 yards, 50 yards. If you're dialed in with your gun, your scope, and how you shoot, it is, either one works for everything you want to do, I'd say, inside 50 yards.
And that's really what we wanted to see here is how they compared in a really controlled environment. They're very comparable.
Controlled environment.
Right.
What do you say we take it outside into the outdoor range and see how that goes down?
I think that's absolutely what we need to do next.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it. When we return, we're sitting down at our Las Vegas roundtable. Don't go anywhere. American Airgunner is sponsored by Umarex, Zeroed In. Pyramid Air, America's largest retailer of air guns. By Hotson, serious, solid impact. And by the Boot Campaign, awareness, patriotism, assistance. Gang's all here. Gentlemen, I love that we came to Las Vegas to meet up and do a round table. Is this fun or what?
Wow, absolutely.
All right, Rick, so what is what's something that you came across that you want to talk about? Okay.
This is basically your air chamber and your valve in one thing.
Okay.
Single shot, refillable, and that goes in a gun that's called the Mac 35. This is essentially a cartridge that can be put in any sort of action that takes this cartridge.
Wait, what? Hold on. Let me just dumb this down for the lapers real quick. You're trying to tell me that you put this in like you normally would, a Barrett 50 cal, load it in, and it is in fact, it shoots, but it's an air gun.
Yep.
So there's a bullet or a projectile in here.
And that's what it's shooting. I mean, that's not a pellet. That's it.
This is and you have like whatever, 10 or 12
bandolier,
of these.
just like you'd have a 12 gauge bandolier. You just go out and just stack them in there.
Wow, Rick, well, way to start us off, man. That's amazing.
Wait till you see the gun, Rossi.
Well, speaking of guns, I'm going to pull out my new Peacemaker Colt single action 45 here. It's a 177 BB gun. The cool thing is here, I love that that they have the bullets in there that you put the BB in the front. And this is just one of the coolest like replica guns that, and this thing, right, it saved the Wild West. All right, Jim, what do you got for us?
Okay, this is one that I really thought was very cool.
I like it.
What
This
is
is
that?
this is from a company called Evanix or Evanix. Everybody
Or
pronounces
Evanix.
it or
We
Evanix.
know
Everybody.
for certainty it's Evanix. From the mouth of Mr. Lee, Evanix is what it's called. We got it on tape.
This gun has the air reservoir in the back. It
Okay.
uses just a single reservoir.
Right.
It has a manometer, or the pressure gauge, in the tail. See back here. See the manometer. This is a 9mm, so a 357. Get about 4 shots, doing 125 to 135 foot-pound with this gun. It's a single action, and here's a cool thing: cocking it. The trigger guard.
Oh, that
That's
is
how
cool.
you cock it.
Oh,
That
wow.
is way
I've
cool.
never seen that. Godfather, what do you
Yo.
got, sir?
I met a young lady who she used to go shooting and there was never any targets. So she made a target
Okay.
out of a cardboard box.
Oh, sorry, Jim. Sorry, Jim. You'll be fine for a sec. Whoa.
This is her product.
What?
It's a whole shooting gallery, and you can put cans and clay pigeons and apples and all kinds of diseased fruit up there.
Jim, what are your thoughts on something like that? I like it too.
Let me show you Swabit's newest idea,
Boar whips. 177.
Boar whips. This is a cleaning rod for your air gun, and you just pull it through the gun. And the beauty of it is, Rossi, you can clean that tip again and again and again for years. It never wears out.
Jim, what do you got?
I don't want to get away from the standard hunting rifles because there are some great rifles coming out. Now this is a laminate stock. It's an Air Arms HFT 500.
Right.
It's made for hunter field target, but I would take this out as a hunting gun. This one's in 177. Their field models of this gun have a cartridge, but you just pull this back to cock it, back
Right.
and cock. But this is an example of what I think is a beautiful hunting rifle.
So, Rick, show me something you brought that's got a lot of power. I know you've got something with a lot of power, don't you? Don't tease me. Yes.
This is the new Big Bore Carnivore from Hotson USA.
Yes.
Comes in 30 and 35.
Okay.
And what they've done is they've taken high shot count in a big bore. I was getting 18 shots out of mine. 18
18?
18 consistent
At 30?
shots. At
30
a 30,
count?
35,
35.
21 and 30 count.
impressive, right?
And you can cast your own bullets for these things, so you don't have to buy just the pellets.
Rossi, this is what makes air guns a game changer with big bores.
Right.
Now your firearms guy who does his own bullet casting, he's going to get interested in this because this is a gun he can go shoot anywhere. It's quiet. He doesn't have to go to the range. And that fact, what he just said about cast bullets, that's extremely important.
There's a lot more on American Airgunner coming up. Stay with us. We'll be right back with the comparison of the century. 22 airgun versus 22 rimfire. So I brought Rick Usler in to help me compare the 22 long rifle to the 22 air rifle. We did it indoors, controlled environment, and that went pretty well.
Went very well.
Well, now we got to compare the outdoors because that's where most people shoot. So here we are. We got an interesting day. We got a little 7 to 9 mile an hour wind. We got a 25-yard target and a 50-yard target. We're shooting basically at a 1-inch hole in the 25
Correct.
and 2-inch hole at the 50.
Correct.
We'll shoot with both guns, and at this point, because it's going to be a little windage, it's going to be elevation, a lot of stuff. It's how many shots does it take you to get through the hole and hit the cam? We've got
That's
kind
it.
of explodable target.
That's it.
Sound good? We'll do it this way. We'll change up a little bit. So we'll go air rifle, and then we'll go,
Long rifle.
and then we'll redo it at 50.
Sounds good.
Boom! All right, you did it in 2, huh?
2 shots, Ross. Very short, 25 yards, just a light wind. Don't even worry about
Here
it.
we go. Rick Usler trash talk.
Don't need. I'm sure you'll do just fine.
Oh, there it was. That's the real trash talk. What?
Don't feel bad, Rossi. There you go.
Dadgummit. There
There
you go.
you go. You got
All
it.
right. So move on to the 22 long rifle.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Oh! One shot!
No pressure, Ross. No pressure.
Here we go.
There you go.
All right, 25 yards down. Rick Usler, winner. We got now 50 yards, 2-inch.
2-inch restrictor.
Yep. Okay.
5 shots, and then we call it.
All right.
There we go.
All right, brother.
Man, you put the pressure on that time, Rossi.
Is this wind throwing you off, buddy?
A little bit. A little bit.
Come on, Rick.
Oh.
It's all right, buddy.
It's all right.
It happens. Here we go.
Nice shot. So 3 shots.
3 shots.
Okay.
Nice!
There we go, Rossi.
Usler. Dadgummit. Good job, buddy. Always good shooting. So there you go. 22 rimfire, 22 air gun. The consistency, the accuracy, all very similar. Same fun,
Oh, yeah, a lot
same
of fun.
excitement. So there you go. Guys, if you want to go out and shoot, get a 22 air rifle and get a 22 long rifle.
That's even better.
There you go. Then you can shoot everywhere. Welcome to this year's new segment all about how air guns work. Today, we're talking about a Springer. Now, people always actually get confused and think that Springers are not air guns. They think the spring is what propels the pellet forward. Well, the fact is, man, you're wrong. It's actually air. So, have you ever actually wondered how a spring creates air pressure? Welcome to this segment. Now, there are so many kinds of Springers, from side levers to under levers, but they all basically work the same. A large spring, just like this one, is contained inside a piston in an enclosed chamber. Take a look-see at this, and we've got it cut out here. See? Now, it's kind of like a gas combustion engine in vehicles, an enclosed chamber that releases power. Only a car engine basically uses a controlled explosion for power instead of a spring, but very similar. I know, I'm a car guy. Let's focus on the gun. All right, so when the gun is cocked, the piston compresses the spring and a sear latches the piston in place. Now, when you pull the trigger, bam, all the spring tension releases, pushing the piston forward, forcing the air through a small air exhaust port to power the pellet. So the size of the spring, the size of the nozzle inlet, caliber of the pellet, weight of the pellet, all these things and more affect the velocity and accuracy. And that noise you hear a lot of times is the spring moving forward. But the bottom line is, it works as simple as this. But Airgun's a lot more fun and a lot more accurate. But pretty cool, right? So, guys, for more information, check out our website, AmericanAirgunner.com, for a lot more tips and content. And if you want to see springers in action, check out our YouTube page. We'll be right back after this. Next week on American Airgunner, the gang and I are headed south for the Dallas, Texas Airgun Show. We'll see some friendly faces as well as some new. The guys are back at the round table to discuss big bore ammo. We'll see you next week. All right, Usler.
Yes, sir.
Here's the deal. Sorry.